Hello! So, have you noticed the 10-year challenge that's going around Instagram at the moment? I'm sure you have. There are probably hundreds of 10-year challenge posts on your feed. Even the celebs have been taking up the challenge. The idea is to post 2 pictures of yourself side by side, but 10 years apart. I particularly liked Romeo Beckham's 10-year challenge photo because he looked very cute 10 years ago as a 6-year-old or whatever. And I didn't really like Reese Witherspoon's just because she doesn't look like she's aged at all, and she's sickeningly line-free and still perfect skin. So, however, that aside, I did my 10-year challenge and posted on my Instagram account with 2 photos of me 10 years apart, side by side. And I realised that 10 years ago, I was 5 months into maternity leave with my first child. And this month, 10 years ago, I had what is commonly known as a crisis of identity and piles of mummy guilt. I handed in my notice at work and said, I'm not going to come back, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mum. And 3 weeks later, I took my notice back, embarrassingly. They were really good about it. But this video I have made on the back of the challenge for you if you were a first-time parent, if you were a mum or a dad who's got a very small child and there's maternity or paternity leave going on, and you've got to make the decision about whether to go back to work part-time, full-time, or no time. Or if you are somebody who knows in the future you will want to balance the demands of child rearing your family with a career, then I have got 3 tips. These are my 3 tips, the things that I learnt from the mistakes I made 10 years ago when I was first time round handling this, and what I think you could do about it. So here are my top 3. Number 1, dial down the opinions and listen to your heart. Now, I realise the irony of giving my opinion, suggesting that you should dial down opinions, but go with it, roll with me for a moment. You see, the opinions that mothers and fathers get levelled with about caring for their children usually come packed full of judgment, criticism, guilt, and sometimes even shame. They are not kind of mildly stated opinions of, oh, well, perhaps this. They usually say something along the lines of, your parent, your child, could be detrimentally affected by you putting them in full-time nursery, or giving them a nanny, or having an au pair, or having some stay-at-home mummy care, or stay-at-home daddy care, or having their grandparents involved, or any and all of the above could be difficult and hold back your child developmentally. That's not mild advice, that's loaded advice. So what I'm saying is, dial down the loaded advice, even if it's your mum, even if it's your best mate. Listen to your heart. What is it that your heart most wants to do? What most matters to you? What are your values that are unique to you? What are your beliefs? And what is important for you? Listen to that. Tune in. You have to concentrate and allow that to bubble to the surface, because the opinions are really loud in your head. So number 1, dial down the opinions of others. Listen to your heart. Number 2, tip 2, make the first of many decisions. See, the mistake I made was thinking that I had to make the perfect choice and I only had one chance to make this choice. Whereas in actual fact, family life needs constant adjustments. The pressures are changing, the children are growing, the needs of the parents are changing. And it's not one decision, it's a whole plethora of decisions. So you can really take the pressure off. If you have got to decide whether you're going back to work full-time, part-time, and it feels really intense and you don't know what to do, remember, this is the first of many decisions. You might find your U-turn like I did. I blame the hormones for my crazy U-turn. But 3 weeks later, I had gone right back and decided that, in fact, I really did want to work alongside bringing up my son. So you might consider on a piece of paper, dividing the line in the middle and writing short-term and long-term on two sides. Because there are some decisions that will work great in the short term. Maybe you need more money, but in the long term, you actually want to spend plenty of time at home with your children. So think of short-term decisions you can make and long-term decisions you can make. And remember, there will be many decisions along the way. My coach tells me the landscape looks different with every step. What he means is you cannot know how it's going to be until you actually make the decision. Nothing is permanent. Make the first of many decisions. And number 3, and this is my kind of like drum I love to bang, which is don't neglect the need for your own personal fulfillment. Sounds very easy, but amidst all the factors to consider, the practical implications, how will you get to work after dropping your child off? How many hours can you negotiate on your salary? And all those, the factors affecting the child, will they be okay? Are they an outgoing child? Are they quite a quiet child? So many things to consider. It's easy to forget that on the list must be your need for professional and personal fulfillment. In psychological terms, we call this self-actualization, and it's like having realized what your deepest held needs are and tried everything you can to fulfill them. Self-actualization. And it's a really important psychological principle. You know, the best gift you can give to your children is you fully alive. So, on that list, what does it mean for you to pursue your passions, develop skills? Do you need training? Do you need a job with experience? Do you need to travel? Do you need to have hobbies that you invest in? What does it mean for you to be personally and professionally fully expressed? Carl Jung once said, the most damaging thing in the life of a child is the unlived life of a parent. And I think he's onto something. I see people who are 10, maybe like me, 10 years down the line from that season, and they are struggling to understand what it is they want to do because they haven't made the investment over time into what it means to be fully realized and fully expressed as a person. So here's to recap my 3 tips for parent guilt and making them transition between staying at work, staying at home, or mixing it all up. Number 1, dial down the opinions of others and listen to your heart. Number 2, remember it's the first of many decisions. There's pressure is off, relax. And number 3, consider your own personal and professional fulfillment as an important factor. So maybe comment below on what it's been like for you, what you think about how to handle guilt and how to be fully expressed. And also check out the link on my website for more thoughts about the psychology of self-actualization.